Hey everyone, I want to talk about something that, the kind of thing that happens to me all the time. People in my tiny hometown where I've lived my entire life ask me almost daily if I'm, in quotation marks, from here. They compliment me on how well I speak. When I'm traveling in Mexico, tourist guides and waiters automatically switch to English when addressing me. In the United States, everyone assumes I'm from there. Well, I'm 6'2". I used to be blonde before I lost most of my hair. I have green eyes, pale skin, and I have what people think of as an American appearance. Whatever that means. So I get this confused look constantly. Like from everyone. People look at me and say, "Wait, what? You're Mexican?" Yep, I'm Mexican. I was born here, raised here, lived here all my life. I hold a passport, I can vote in elections, and I could run for public office if I chose to. And that confusion, that moment of cognitive dissonance, well, that's where we're going to start. Because if people can't even figure out who I am by looking at me, just imagine all the other invincible cultural rules and assumptions that we are getting wrong every single day. So who am I? My name is Arturo Wagner, and this channel is called Gringomex. And I want to help you navigate these cultural differences with grace, understanding, and wit, without the anger and frustration that comes from just not knowing. So who am I to talk about all this? Well, for one, I grew up speaking English at home because my father was born in one of the Mormon colonies in Chihuahua. These communities that have retained a lot of American cultural elements, even though they've been in Mexico for generations. So, from the time I can remember, I've been living in two worlds at once. I've been visiting my relatives in the United States my entire life. I still talk with them regularly. I speak both English and Spanish with native fluency. I teach business courses and business English at the university level. I also tutor Spanish with a focus on cultural nuance, not just grammar. They tell me I'm a good teacher, and I hope they're right, because teaching is what I love to do. I'm also an interpreter, and I work as a certified translator. That means I can translate legal documents, stamp them, and they are valid worldwide. So I don't just speak English and Spanish, I live in the nuances between them. And more importantly, I see where cultures meet and clash. So what seems to be the problem here? Well, here's what I've noticed over the years. There is so much vitriol and hostility between people of different backgrounds. And a lot of it, not all, but a lot, comes from a lack of awareness. And I'm not saying this to insult anyone. Americans, in my experience, don't know much about the outside world, not because they're arrogant or because they don't care. They simply haven't been exposed to other cultures. The United States is enormous. It's geographically isolated. American ways are the default, and even in communities with heavy immigrant populations, those immigrant traditions often remain mysterious, confusing. Sometimes they may feel threatening, not because they actually pose any danger, but because people don't understand them. And you know what? That can be remedied. Mutual understanding is an acquired skill. People from Mexico and other countries, well, they often know way more about American life than Americans know about theirs. They have to. They're living in it. But that creates its own frustrations and misunderstandings. So that's what this channel is about. I want to build bridges. I want to help people understand each other better. In the videos to come, we're going to explore the cultural differences between Mexico and the United States, and honestly, between Latin America more broadly and the rest of the United States. We'll talk about communication styles and why do some cultural norms encourage saying no directly while others dance around it. Time. When someone says around 7, what do they actually mean? Family dynamics. What does family even mean in different contexts? Workplace expectations. Social etiquette. When is it rude to be direct? When is it rude not to be? Language itself. The words we use, the phrases that don't translate in the meanings, they get lost. I'm not here to say one way is better than another. I'm here to help you see why people do what they do, to give you the context you're missing, to help you navigate these differences with empathy and intelligence instead of frustration and judgment. Because, well, here's the thing. When people of different backgrounds interact, their respective cultures can enrich each other. When we understand each other, we don't just tolerate our differences, we actually benefit from them. We learn, we grow, we become better versions of ourselves. But that only happens when we're willing to learn. So, if that sounds like something you're interested in, and if you want to understand Mexican traditions better, if you want to improve your Spanish, if you're in a bicultural relationship or family, or if you just want to be a more empathetic person, then subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment and tell me, what cultural differences confuse you the most? What do you want to understand better? I'll read every comment, and your questions will help shape future videos. This is just the beginning. I'm excited to go on this journey with you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.